Welcome to GOATech, the show where our experts face off to determine which products are the greatest of all tech.
Today we have Abrar versus Iyaz, thin phones versus thick phones. So this is going to be an all things mobile showdown.
Let's meet our experts.
Iyaz Akhtar, mobile analyst at PC Mag. I'm going to be presenting the side of thick phones or the iPhone Pro. And fun fact about me, I can move my ears.
My name's Abrar Al-Heeti. I am representing the iPhone Air, and I'm a senior technology reporter at CNET. And my fun fact is that I have a black belt in Taekwondo, but the kicker is that, pun intended, I haven't used it since I was 12.
So round one is the elevator pitch round. Each expert will have 30 seconds to tell us why their product is so great. Iyaz, the floor is yours.
So listen, thick versus thin phones. The reason why I'm picking thick phones here is that you don't need to charge multiple devices. You get one device. And when you talk about thick versus thin, are you including the camera bump? Because how much thinness are you saving? You get a larger phone, you get a larger battery, you get more specs, you got more time. I think that's all I got to say.
Oh man, pretty good argument from Iyaz, I would say, all things considered there. Oh man. Okay, well now it's Abrar's turn. 30 seconds on the clock for you, and your time starts now.
Listen, Iyaz, I hear you. The thing is, I think most people don't necessarily need a super thick battery. I feel like you could get through a full day on the iPhone Air in most cases. And yeah, the camera bump is there, but it's still a lot thinner than anything else you're gonna hold, and it actually feels different. So many phones are so boring these days. Isn't it cool to have something that actually feels unique and feather light in your hands?
Abrar's argument was great to the core. Little apple pun.
That's cool. I really liked Iyaz's. It was short, sweet, to the point. You gotta love the energy there. Now let's move on into the second round of this debate called the Takedown round. This is where you basically have 30 seconds on the clock to dismantle your opponent's argument or product. Abrar, it's your turn to kick things off for the second round, and your time starts now.
All right, I'm so ready for this. Okay, so Iyaz, you mentioned that it's great to not have to constantly charge a thicker phone, and I totally give you that. The thing is, when I use the iPhone Air, I actually was able to get through a full day without needing to recharge most of the time. I mean, there were days when I was like, oh God, I definitely need that battery pack. But most of the time, you are actually able to get a full day's worth of battery out of that thing, and for how thin it is, it's actually quite impressive. I do think Apple could do a little better next time, but it checks the main boxes there.
All right, now it is Iyaz's turn. Let's hear the takedown.
I'm flatly enraged by this because I'll tell you, just because something's a thin phone and it feels cool in your hand doesn't mean anything. You can get a flip phone nowadays, a feature phone, that can do anything. It can withstand falls and everything. It doesn't make it better. It just makes it different. So I think that thin phones are great and they should show up when the technology is ready. But just because a mobile expert can get a whole day with it doesn't mean you can.
Goodness.
What a takedown!
All right, now it's time for the experts' picks.
Ooh.
We're gonna be talking cameras. Let's send it over to Iyaz.
Right, look, if you want more cameras, if you want optical zoom, I'm not talking about this digital zoom with all this crunchy noise stuff. There's only one way to go, and that's thicker phones because they have more cameras and they can handle more processing because there's more battery in these devices.
Great point, Iyaz. I mean, the iPhone 17 Pro has the best camera quality out there. A lot of people say that, but let's hear what Abrar has to say. What do you think?
All right, this was a tough one for me, and I will concede that I'm the kind of person who likes having high-end cameras, but I think for most people, if you just take standard 1x, 2x photos, the iPhone Air will definitely carry its weight. That 48 megapixel camera really does a lot of work. It does kind of suck that you can't do 0.5x, but most of the time, 90% of the time, you can take every picture you want to take and it'll look spectacular.
Oh, yeah, you're right about it carry its weight. It doesn't weigh anything and it can't take pictures. But that's just me talking smack.
It's, that's what we're here for.
When they say like two cameras are great again, they're like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. Right? And that'll be the end of that.
All right, enough of the pleasantries. Wes, it's time for the final round.
It is time for the final round. In this round, we will ask a two-part question. Feel free to play along at home if you want to try for the answer.
So, one of the first commercially available mobile phones was in fact the Motorola DynaTAC 8000X. Wes, you ever heard of this thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Upon its commercial release in 1984, in millimeters, how thick was this phone exactly? And moreover, how much did it cost in USD back in 1984?
Now, as they write their answers, JD, I recently saw a phone marriage.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the proposal and everything.
When you say what do you mean by the phone marriage?
There was a phone that proposed to another phone. You know how he did it?
How?
Gave him a ring.
Oh,
I was actually invited to the wedding.
Okay.
And the ceremony was bad, but the
Okay.
reception was great.
Oh!
You wanna know
phone
why?
Okay, yeah.
Full bars.
Oh! That's great. I do like an open bar at a wedding. It does make the experience a lot nicer.
I was talking about phones.
Well, okay.
All right, time's up. Let's have our experts reveal answers, and let's start with Iyaz.
Okay, so for thickness, I had to look this up because I don't know how to convert inches to millimeters. I did half an inch, which is supposedly 12.7 millimeters thick. And the pricing, I figured, since it's so old, is close to $2,000. But since, you know, people like prices, $19.99.99. That's my guess for this phone.
All right, so I wrote down 15 millimeters for thickness and then $1,500 for the phone. But I genuinely have no concept of how much phones cost then, so I'm curious.
All right, well, the answer was 44 millimeters thick and $3,995.
Jeez,
Man.
Louise.
So not a competitor to the iPhone Air is what I'm hearing.
The iPhone Air is actually 5.6 millimeters thick, and that's over 7 times thinner than that dinosaur.
And if you adjust for inflation, the phone is over $12,000, which is crazy. That's a lot of money.
Of change, Wes.
You also have the cost for calls. And then there's no unlimited anything then. Don't forget that. So like, not only are you paying $13,000 or for the phone, you still gotta have a service plan and you have to have coverage. Good luck with that stuff.
And after tabulating the results, the winner of GOATech is Iyaz. Iyaz, how's it feel?
You know, I was worried I was spreading it on too thick when I was arguing this, but no, I look, phones are phones are phones are phones. So as long as they work, I think you guys should pick whatever you want. Let us know what you have in your pocket.
Unfortunately, Abrar, you did not win today's GOATech debate. It's so sad, but do you have anything to say to your competition?
You know, it's heartbreaking, but Iyaz brings up a great point. You know, phones are phones are phones. Did I say it enough times? And what you have is right for you. So, you know, live your truth.
And that was GOATech, the show where our experts face off and decide which products really are the greatest of all tech.
Iyaz and Abrar, thank you again for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And if you want to see more of Iyaz and Abrar, check out All Things Mobile.
That's right. It's our official series over here on CNET and across many other platforms just like PC Mag where Iyaz is. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like it and also subscribe to our channel. Comment down below if you maybe disagreed with today's outcome, but that's GOATech and we'll see you in the next video.
You know what? Where's my phone? Look at what I'm using right now. So you know what? It is what it is.
Look how thin this fold is.
Oh my gosh, what is going on?
This is the fold though.
What is going on?